Whether you're saving the world or just one city, it's always nice to have friends you can count on.
Always a pleasure. And may I say that outfit was a wise choice.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Dragon Age characters.
I don't need to know how to read. All I need to know is which end of the sword goes where.
While we're speculating where Dragon Age 4 will take us, here are our top picks of allies from all 3 games so far. For this list, we're excluding playable characters like the Warden and Inquisitor, since their actions and personality are dictated by the player's actions. Hawke is also excluded from this list because, while Hawke is much more characterized, his or her alignment is also decided by the player, and therefore does not qualify.
I was drawn in by the intoxicating aroma of stale piss and vomit.
Number 10, Shale. Hey, it's everyone's favorite pigeon-stomping golem. After Shale was found immobile over the corpse of her master, the rod used to control the golem was sold to a merchant in the hope that she would never be activated again. Even though Shale couldn't move, she was still conscious of the changes around her, and as time went on, she became frustrated with her helpless state. In Dragon Age Origins, the player can purchase the control rod, activate, and then recruit Shale as a companion.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose.
A formidable warrior, Shale was a female dwarf who volunteered to become a golem to fight the Darkspawn during the First Blight. An interesting fact is that Shale belonged to House Kazdash. That should ring a bell for those who played a Dwarven Inquisitor.
I think I was ready to move on. Another few years and the moss would have covered my face. And then where would I have been?
Number 9, Isabella.
Me and my boys will get our money's worth, bitch.
Oh, you poor sweet thing.
Beautiful yet deadly, this Queen of the Eastern Seas initially appears in Origins as a duelist trainer, but then plays a larger role in Dragon Age 2 as a companion and possible romance option. Ooh.
Stab first, ask questions later. Trust me, it's better this way.
Isabella is never one to turn down an opportunity, especially when it tips in her favor, and she highly values her freedom while also enjoying a carefree life. Life is definitely too short to follow rules and be righteous. However, if the player successfully romances or has a strong friendship with Isabella, she faithfully remains by Hawke's side. Isabella is tough, resourceful, and knows how to use her assets to her advantage. We're talking about her rogue abilities, of course.
Tell me, Lucky, is this worth dying for?
Number 8, Durian.
Good, you're finally here. Now help me close this, would you?
His sarcasm and wit come as naturally to him as his magical abilities. In case you're not entirely sold on the guy after that, his specialization is necromancy. Awesome. Hailing from Tevinter, Durian is a companion in Dragon Age Inquisition, and regardless of whether the player sided with the mages or Templars, Durian knows how to make a big entrance.
I'm here to warn you. Fashionably late, I'm afraid.
He is also the first exclusively gay male party member in a BioWare game. Although Durian deeply cares about his homeland, the level of corruption and moral decay is unbearable. He joins the Inquisition for a sense of purpose and to ultimately redeem Tevinter. Besides his charm and intellect, what makes Durian unique is how unabashedly true he remains to himself and how he refuses to compromise his own happiness.
You have remarkably little here on early Tevinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda.
Number 7, Colin Rutherford.
Hello.
Colin is one of the few characters from the franchise to appear in all 3 games. Initially one of the few good Templars in Origins, Colin is the sole surviving Templar from Uldred's Uprising. In Dragon Age 2, a hardened Colin shows a deep distrust towards mages, yet ultimately sides with Hawke when he realizes the extent of Knight Commander Meredith's madness.
You will do as I command, Colin.
No. I defended you when Thrask started whispering you were mad, but this is too far.
In Inquisition, Colin is remorseful for his past transgressions and leaves the Templar Order to serve as the military advisor and commander of the Inquisition's forces. In order to sever ties completely, he abstains from taking lyrium, an addictive substance that grants Templars their abilities but comes at a price. What makes Colin such a compelling character is his perseverance against all odds and unwavering sense of duty.
This is not what the Order stands for. Knight Commander, step down. I relieve you of your command.
Number 6, Sarah.
What is that?
Ugh! Squishy one, but you heard me, right? Just say what? Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Don't call her Elfie or you're gonna get an arrow to the face. Sarah is a member of the Friends of Red Jenny and fears magic. She's impulsive, unpredictable, and has an immature sense of humor that keeps things from getting too formal.
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around, blah blah, I'll crush you.
Sarah's all about what makes people people, and knocking authoritative assholes down several pegs.
Mother cuss bucket, friggin' bastard, shitebag, piss face.
She's also a defender of the common folk and strives to restore order. For this reason, when the breach opens in the sky, Sarah volunteers to join the Inquisition and help make the world normal again. Lover or hater, you can't deny this crass rogue is a resourceful ally, and without her, the Inquisitor wouldn't have the jar of bees amongst their arsenal.
What, can you see the future now too? It's got no underpants.
Number 5, Cassandra Pentagast.
I am Cassandra Pentagast, Seeker of the Chantry.
Aside from having her own feature film, Cassandra appears in Dragon Age 2 and in Inquisition, doing what she does best: kicking ass, grunting in disapproval, and keeping Varrick on his toes. Cassandra comes from nobility, yet she turned her back on that lifestyle in favor of seeking revenge for her brother's death, and thus joined the Seekers of Truth. She would become the youngest Seeker of her time, and later on, the right hand of the Divine.
I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them.
Cassandra seeks to restore order in both Thedas and the Order of Seekers. Beyond her intimidating personality, Cassandra is deeply driven, fiercely loyal, and a force of reckoning. This warrior perfected the art of dragon slaying and would rather stab someone than admit her penchant for romantic novels.
Pretend you don't know this about me.
Number 4, Iron Bull.
Yeah, the horns usually give it away.
Horns up. Admit it, you probably thought of riding the bull just for fun, right?
Oh, sweet maker. Colin, how's it going?
This one-eyed Kunari mercenary is an interesting character, since while he is loyal to the Kun and an agent of Ben Hasrath, Bull prefers to indulge in all good things like sex, booze, hanging with his crew, and, you guessed it, killing dragons.
I'm your man. Whatever it is, demons, dragons, the bigger the better.
Despite his imposing appearance and keen observations, Bull also deeply cares for others, including his ragtag team of mercenaries that make up the Bull's Chargers. Even though the big guy isn't the tankiest companion around, Bull makes up for it for his witty banter and innuendo.
So, I take it...
Actually, he's the one who's been taking it.
Number 3, Liliana.
Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering.
Like Colin, Liliana has a steady presence in all 3 games. Liliana is introduced as an Orlesian bard and potential companion in Origins and Dragon Age 2, becomes the left hand of the Divine, and investigates the Mage-Templar conflict. Following the death of the Divine, Liliana joins the Inquisition as the Spy Master, leading covert operations and gathering intelligence.
The Divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out.
She has great knowledge of Orlesian nobility and the Grand Game. Liliana is also someone you wouldn't want to cross, as she's cunning and can be ruthless if the situation arises. Although Liliana's experiences have hardened her, including her crisis of faith in Inquisition, she remains resilient and forever obsessed with nugs. Those things are weird, man.
I have to stay true to who I really am, before Spy Master, Left Hand, or Bard.
Number 2, Morrigan.
How odd. We now have a dog, and Alistair is still the dumbest one in the party.
Daughter of Flemeth, the Witch of the Wilds, and a snarky companion in Origins, Morrigan is a mage with the shapeshifter specialization. She reappears in Inquisition as Empress Celine's arcane advisor, and later as a liaison to the Inquisition.
You will require my knowledge if you are to defeat such magic.
Morrigan's isolated upbringing may have influenced her views and abrasive personality, yet she is one of the most layered characters in this series. She's complex, mysterious, and highly intelligent, yet has moments of vulnerability, and under the evasive tone, she also cares. Morrigan is an iconic face of the series, and judging by her role in Inquisition, it wouldn't be surprising to see her again in the next installment.
I have knowledge which falls beyond the realm of most mages.
Before we unveil our top pick, here's a few honorable mentions.
How well versed are you in poetry? Antivan poetry, specifically. Well, trust me then, you won't be hearing it now. It was recited to me, as I recall, by a rather wealthy target of mine.
I'm astonished. I'd given up hope that any example of the early family crest still existed. It even has our first motto, back from when we had a trading fleet to speak of.
It's good to see another dwarf in the Inquisition. There aren't many of us around. Inquisition Scout Harding, at your service. All of us here, will do whatever we can to help.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to trick you. Is it working? Oh, I just about had you, didn't I?
And we have one dishonorable mention as well.
Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
Number 1, Varrick Tethras.
Have you got a minute, Varrick?
For you, I have all the time in the world.
This silver-tongued storyteller and roguish dwarf somehow won over our hearts in Dragon Age 2, and having him return as a companion in Inquisition got us excited. Varrick's family was once a noble house in Orzammar, until his father's disgrace resulted in banishment.
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
As a surface dwarf with status, Varrick benefits from familial connections with the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Varrick is quick-witted, friendly, and always looking for levity to offset whatever crisis is occurring. He's also a useful ally for his wicked accuracy and managing his own spy network, not to mention his strong connections as a renowned author and being BFFs with the Champion of Kirkwall. Although many fans bemoaned the fact that Varrick didn't return as a potential love interest, let's be honest, no one could come between him and Bianca. That means his crossbow, by the way. Do you agree with our list?
I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in the woods, but so what?
Which Dragon Age character would you want fighting by your side?
Varrick Tethras, at your service.
For more awesome top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Haha, you won't land me that easily, woman.